Heidi ho, how's it go? Welcome to WholeLattaRich. I'm Rich Latta. Once again, I am joined by Rob from Massachusetts. How's it going, Rob?
Doing well.
Great. Rob has joined the Taste Like Music Discord community and he's taken to it like a duck to water. Happy to see that. So, what is your background with the Pixies, Rob?
Actually, believe it or not, I was quite late to the party with the Pixies. I first heard the Pixies in 2005, maybe. The first song I actually heard was Here Comes Your Man, which was one of the opening songs to like some kind of comedy movie, only to find out it was the Pixies, a group that I had heard of beforehand. And I'm like, oh, so this is the Pixies. So I wanted to check out that album and a couple of their other albums and, you know, on with it, became a Pixies fan.
Cool. So were you surprised at how they sounded after hearing that one particular song?
Believe it or not, I knew their who they inspired. So I
Uh,
was sort of like, I was surprised that Here Comes Your Man,
yeah.
believe it or not. And I knew like they were had that soft loud dynamic thing that I wasn't quite ready for at the time.
Mhm.
And then once I was ready to put full feet into it, I just became a really hardcore Pixies fan afterwards.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan. So I lived in France for a year after I graduated high school, and while living there, I encountered Doolittle soon after it came out. My American friend got it on tape. It didn't click with me at first, but it quickly grew on me. And I soon considered it to be totally awesome. By the time I was at college, a few years later, the Pixies had become legendary for those in the know. It doesn't get much cooler than the Pixies.
No, it
So
doesn't.
we've got 9 albums. We're going to do a top 10 songs at the end. Um, let's see. You went first on the Stone Temple Pilots video. Why don't I go first this time?
Mhm.
All right. So my bottom, my number 9 is their sixth album, Head Carrier from 2016. Head Carrier is surprisingly weak. They've always been good at short, punchy songs, but some of these songs feel slight. Some start off well, but have weak choruses. The opening title track is good, but following track, Classic Masher, is meh. Bale's Back is even weaker, almost anti-melodic, and one of the lamest, most uninspired guitar solos I've ever heard, I must say. The album picks up somewhat at the end, with new bassist Paz Lanchanton singing All I Think About Now, written by Black Francis as sort of an apology to Kim Deal, who left the band for good a few years earlier. Paz does an adequate job of filling Kim's shoes, but I don't think she has Kim's talent. She does have a lot of vocal work on the album, though, including a duet with Black, the song Bel Esprit, which is one of the songs that have a lame chorus. It's just okay. Probably my favorite track here would be Chugga Lugga, an upbeat fun rocker, though far from the Pixies' best material. Overall, I would have to say this album is kind of lame, especially by Pixies standards. 2.75 stars.
Okay. Well, believe it or not, um, I was a little late to the party with the Pixies. I basically heard their first four albums, so technically, almost all their reunion albums were technically new to me. going into this discography. So my number nine actually ended up being Indie Cindy from 2014. Now, I was kind of aware that this were three EPs put together to make one EP or one LP rather. Um, it was interesting. You feel like they didn't know where to go with this. It was kind of like guess who, kind of like saying we're back, but without sounding like their normal selves. It was kind of a weird transformation. It's something that people weren't really wanting to accept with the Pixies because when their previous album was Trompe Le Monde, it's you really couldn't go anywhere, especially 26 years later, something like that. And believe it or not, there is some really good quality songwriting on this album. Believe I like Greens and Blues. That's actually a pretty good alternative rock song. Really like that one. And one uh, track that I did not like is Bag Boy. I was not a fan of that one at all. And Magdalena 318 has a good catchy groove to it. I really enjoyed that one. Blue Eyed Hex is like AC/DC song. Kind of reminds me of their AC/DC song. Another Toe in the Ocean is a good surf rock song up to the modern day. And Ring the Bell and Silver Snail seem like kind of forgettable tracks for me. And all the rest were like just kind of like filler to me. But I am at a 3.5 stars for this because I think I'm really a big fan of Black Francis's songwriting from going through these albums. And it makes me really interested in hearing what Frank Black albums sound like. I only heard their first two after going through these. And I'm really digging the sound. I really like this album. It's 3.5 stars. I think it's a solid and I can recommend it.
Nice, nice. Yeah. Yeah, there's some really good Frank Black music. Definitely want to dive into that more. Um, all right, my number eight is Beneath the Airy, their seventh album from 2019. The band sound different on this one. It's hard to put a finger on it, but they sound less like the Pixies and more like conventional alt rock. That doesn't mean this is bad. It's a big improvement over a previous album, Head Carrier. The lowest I get on songs is 3.25, which is pretty good, and there are a handful of those. The highest I get is 4 stars. The streamlined opener, In the Arms of Mrs. Mark of Cain, is 4 stars. A very good rocker with noticeable added percussion, while second track on Graveyard Hill is also very good, featuring some cool bass. Catfish Kate is just pretty good. Same with This Is My Fate, with more percussion effects in the chorus, which I guess are kind of cute. Ready for Love has some nice harmonizing between Black and Paz. It's an easygoing song for the most part, except for some sizzling guitar at the end. Silver Bullet is mellow but rocks out in places. Saint Nazaire is one of the few heavy songs, but it's just pretty good, and the chorus is a bit weak. Bird of Prey is a light, jaunty revenge song, and Daniel Boone is the final 4 star song. Easygoing, but not a drag, and it's got a trippy ending. Should have been the end of the album because the final track, Death Horizon, is just pretty good. My song average comes out to 3.5625. So that's what I'm rating this album, 3.5. I don't always rate albums according to the song average, but in this case I am.
Well, that's going to be much higher on my list, believe it or not.
Wow.
Um, my number eight is was your number nine, Head Carrier from 2016. Well, this I believe is a bit of a improvement on Indie Cindy, but not much of one. They do have a new bass player, Paz, for this project. I'm not even going to pretend to pronounce the last name. Uh, Believe it or not, I think this direction that they went with Paz, I think was really good for their band. Because I also know that it will never be as good as it once was. I also like the idea that they're sort of forging a new sound for the future on this album. And this to me has a lot of very good tracks. Nothing that truly jumps out at you, though. But I think overall it is a good album to listen to. Very pleasant sounding. Head Carrier is actually a pretty good opener. I really enjoyed that one. Might as well be gone is actually a pretty decent ballad. I really like that little ballad there. Talent feels like a bit of a geek rock song, as you would think. Something like maybe Weezer would have written lyrically, you know? And like you were saying, all I think about is now is a good lead vocal from Paz due to Kim Deal. Chugga is one of the best songs off that album, like you were saying. Plaster of Paris has got a really good groove to it. Overall, it's a very pleasant album. You're not going to hate yourself listening to this, but you're not going to like go run for it too often. But it is a pleasant listening experience, and I have it at 3.5 stars.
All right, fair enough. On to number seven. I've got their ninth and most recent album, The Night the Zombies Came from 2024. This might be the quietest Pixies album. It's between this and Beneath the Airy, which this album resembles. Lots of songs on the light side. There are some lively rockers here as well, and sometimes combinations of both. Only one song here is great, but nothing is less than good. And there are some very good songs. Opener Primrose is very good, kicking off with an acoustic guitar, which is immediately joined by a cool bass. It's an easygoing song, but the shimmery guitar solo was exquisite. The next song, You're So Impatient, is also very good, but more rockin', starting off with a good upbeat drum figure, soon joined by some badass guitar. Chicken is the one song I would call excellent. It's very cool with expressive lyrics, verses that kind of amble along, contrasted with almost gospel-like choruses. Hypnotized is a very good rocker with a dreamy chorus. New bassist Emma Richardson sounds good harmonizing with Black on Motorola. Mercy Me is slow and laid back with some nice tremolo, not heavy at all. Next song, Ernest Evans, is much more energetic and heavy, featuring a loose blues structure. People who know my tastes know that I can easily get turned off by standard blues song structures. But this one is a little different, and the cool guitar saves it. Kings of the Prairie is a little generic, yet passes as a good song. That's about the worst I could say about anything here. Final track, The Vegas Suite, is another easygoing one. It picks up a little in the middle, then goes back to being laid back and slow. So this is a far cry from the explosive energy of the Pixies' early days. But if you can appreciate this different side of the band, this album is rewarding, an enjoyable listen. I'm up to 3.75 stars. Really good.
All right. And it's also my number seven, The Night the Zombies Came. Um, I think the fact that the new bass players come into the fore, it actually kind of makes them kind of warm up. Like I had Head Carrier at number eight, which was Paz's first album, and Indy Cindy, who had a fill-in bass player. So you kind of didn't know where to go from there. This was another like debut album with a new bass player, and believe it or not, I think as you were saying, very quiet sounding. Like this may be another new direction they're going in, and I'm actually looking forward to it. Primrose is a great opener. I really love that one. You're So Impatient is a very catchy song. Believe it or not, the one thing I disagree with is Chicken. I'm not really into that song at all, believe it or not. Uh, that one just seems like they're trying way too hard to be, something that they're not. Um, Hypnotize is another very catchy song. Motorola was actually, I believe, the first single. I may be wrong on that. Very catchy, good harmony chorus. You know, Oyster Beds, another kind of catchy song, kind of bland though. But my favorite song on the album is the final song, The Vegas Suite. Very slow moving, kind of ballady, but it really is haunting, which is something I really appreciate on this. And again, like you were saying, it's a really rewarding experience. I also have this at 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed this one.
Very nice. Yeah, we do have different tastes on things, and you're about to have another example. My number six is Indie Cindy, their fifth album. It's from 2014. Indie Cindy bursts out of the gate with What Goes Boom, a stomping rocker. Next song, Greens and Blues, is more of an easygoing rock tune. Every song here rocks, but several are more on the chill side, which is understandable considering how much older these musicians are. However, nothing here is limp. Everything is at least good, but only one song deserves to be called top shelf. And wouldn't you know, it's the song you don't like, Bag Boy. It's a different kind of song for them. It sounds like there is both a drum machine and live drums. I think both sound great. It's a very cool beat, a trippy song, thanks especially to the guitars. The UMass flashback Blue Eyed Hex adds a classic rock flair, so that coincides with what you were saying about it, complete with cowbell. Black's vocals on this album still sound great, although much less unhinged. What Goes Boom, the title track, Magdalena 318, and the closer Jaime Bravo are all damn good, but can't compete with the best Pixies tunes. Kim Deal is missed, even though she has a competent replacement. Paslin Chanton became the band's bassist around this time, but it was actually Ding Archer, formerly of The Fall, who plays on Indie Cindy. I think Indie Cindy is a very good comeback album. It can't really touch past glories, but it's probably the best we could have hoped for, considering how much time had passed. I give it 4 stars.
Nice. Actually, my number what is it, six now?
Six.
Yep. We're on Doggerel from 2022. Um, this seems like a well put together surf rock album for the modern day. Um, I love the opening lines. You know that I don't that you don't really hate me, but suppose I probably irritate you from no matter day. It's kind of them telling you that, yeah, we're kind of in a different era of the Pixies. We're like doing kind of what we want. If we want to basically recreate the first four albums, just go listen to the first four albums. We can't do anything about it. We've gotten older and we're writing what we like, and that's something that I highly respect from the band. And the album's track list, to be honest with you, is really solid all the way through. A couple of my standouts, Thunder and Lightning. I actually enjoyed that song a good deal. There's a Moon On was the first single, very catchy. Really like that one. Get Simulated is kind of a good beat song. I don't know how to describe it. Get Simulated. It's kind of cool. And then Haunted House is very haunting, along with maybe Get Simulated could also be pretty haunting. And yeah, I really enjoyed this album. It is solid from front to back. I am going 3.5 stars. I'm enjoying this catalog. And they're continuing on with Pause. I really love the Pause era.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Doggerel is my number five, and I'm glad that we both have it relatively high. Um, it's their eighth album. It's from 2022. I think they really reach a peak with this one. They really make their more mellow latter day approach work while also bringing some real rock and roll muscle. These are well-written songs that often feature some sophisticated change-ups, such as the opener No Matter Day, which completely changes the groove at the midway point of the song. I love the trippy intro that soon slides into a cool bass line. Black Francis sounds great as always. It's funny to hear him saying, "Don't waste your time on me." Dregs of the Wine brings in some of the intensity of the old days. Haunted House is excellent, very pleasing from a melodic standpoint. There's some acoustic guitar, but it's also very muscular. There's a short lull in the middle with some good but light songs. There's a Moon On, gets back to more rocking material, and we get a few screamed come ons. Again, just a small taste of the spirited olden days. Pagan Man is a countryish rocker, and I would call it excellent. You're Such a Sadducee is a very good song with cool changes and some great intermittent rolling drums. I love the lines, "You're such a Sadducee. It's really sad to see." Hilarious. And then the final track, the title track, that's another excellent song. It's got a great groove and the lines, "I'll never wonder again. I'm going to stay till the end, here with you." Really a perfect ending. The guitar solo combined with the surrounding band is great. Great outro guitar soloing as well. So we've got four excellent tracks here, several very good tracks, and just a few slightly below that. I'm giving Doggerel a very strong 4 stars. I really dug it, and I look forward to hearing it again.
Right on. Now, this is where I'm going to upset people. Get ready for it. My number five is Surfer Rosa from 1988. Believe it or not, I want to start off by saying This is a very good album. I do like the album, but the first, if they measured up to the first half of the album, the second half just falls completely flat for me. First half, Bone Machine is fantastic. Broken Face is amazing. Break My Body, another great song. Gigantic is a classic Kim Deal track. River Euphrates is great. Where Is My Mind, another classic. Then What Happened? After that, I am lost. There's a lot of bickering going on. Uh, I've never been a fan of Cactus for some reason. Along with Vamos, never been the biggest fan of that one either. Uh, Tony's theme, I'm amazed, had a lot of bickering, you know, oh my golly. I mean, what is this? I can't listen to the second half of this album, but this is a 5 star first side, though. This is like 100% a 5 star first side. But the second half, I gave 2 stars to. So therefore, it measures out to 3.5 stars. Despite its status as being one of the great albums of all time, it is a very good album, but I do think it is highly overrated.
Well, okay, yeah. Well, you're not alone in that opinion. Joe Steigerwald has that low on his ranking as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, okay, cool. All right, on to number four. And some people might question this choice. I've got their third album, Bossa Nova. It's from 1990. Bossa Nova was never my favorite, and I do consider it a step down from what came before it. However, it's still excellent, a very fun rockin' album, beginning with a rollicking, heavy take on the surf tone Cecilia Ann. Pixies take it up a notch with rock music, one of their heaviest songs. Valoria is a killer single, while Allison is the weakest song, but it's still pretty good. Everything else is at least good, and most of it is excellent. Is She Weird is strange and slinky, another 5 star song. Other 5 star songs include the sort of bouncy, bubbly, all over the world, the sprawling by Pixie standards, the happening, blown away, stormy weather. Dig for Fire is close to 5 stars. I love it. This is just a super fun album. Anna, Down to the Well, Hangwire, and Javelina are really good, even very good. But the fact that they aren't all excellent means it can't stand with the best Pixies albums. As a result, I think it got a little too much criticism, but many of those same critics have come around to really loving the album anyway. I know a few people who even claim it is their favorite Pixies album. 4.5 stars.
All right. Believe it or not, my number four is Beneath the Eyrie from 2020. This is easily my favorite album of the reunion era. Um, Definitely has more of a gothic sound, very dark sounding. I really enjoyed the darkness in this. They combine their weirdness with the darkness. It really works for me. It just somehow very pleasing to the ear. The Arms of Mrs. Mark of Cain, very good rocker, like you were saying. My favorite songs are the next two on Graveyard Hill. Very classic song, very catchy. Uh, Catfish Kate, another classic, very catchy song. And expressing their weirdness, and This Is My Fate, one of the better songs. from that, along with Birds of Prey. It's kind of gives off their sense of humor a little bit. Long Rider was an excellent single. Really love that one. Um, Daniel Boone and Death Horizon. Actually, believe it or not, Death Horizon has been played live in concerts, and it's actually a very good live version. You got to hear that song live. It's just really good. And is it Silver Bullet? Maybe my least favorite song on here, but I do like the little breakdown of the drum breakdown that they put in there. And this is just a very, very well produced album, very gothic sounding, very dark, but it is one of their best albums. And I'm up to 4 stars on Beneath the Eyrie.
All right, very cool. Yeah, it's interesting how we all hear things differently.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned seeing them live. I did see them live. I saw them in, I believe it was 2010 in Austin. Kim was in the band, and God, seeing them live is so cathartic. You just go out of your mind and cut loose. I mean, the whole audience was just in a frenzy when they started up. It's really a blast.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at number three. I've got their fourth album, Trompe le Monde, came out in 1991. So returning to these albums once again, I was more turned on by Trompe le Monde than anything else. And that has a lot to do with the fact that I have listened to Surfer Rosa and Doolittle to death. I didn't listen to Trump as much as a whole album because I thought it had some mid songs. But after this last listen, several listens actually, I was digging everything. I even considered putting this at number one, but I came back down to earth and decided against it. But I found Trompe le Monde to be the most exhilarating listen. The killer drums on that opening title track, the ferocious Planet of Sound in drop D tuning, probably their heaviest song, the manic energy of Alec Eiffel, the way those songs are placed so close together is jarring and thrilling. Count on the Pixies to be weird, and this is indeed a weird album. Some of these songs transform in interesting ways. From what I read, Kim Deal and Black Francis were not on speaking terms, and music was getting written in the studio on the fly. The frenetic energy this created is palpable. The Jesus and Mary Chain cover, Head On, is gold, sporting verses, pre-choruses, choruses, and post-choruses. This is more than just a conventional rock song, and the energy is sizzling. UMass is killer. A tribute to Black's time at that particular college. The song is catchy as fuck. It's sort of a hypnotic groove, and I love how Kim Deal just starts rocking out at one point. The guitar solo at the end is unhinged. I used to dismiss Lovely Day for sounding too much like Head On, but there's a lot more to it than that. And I have always loved Space I Believe In. Love the way it just starts playing, seemingly in the middle of the song. Jeffrey with one F, Jeffrey. That just sticks in my head. And I love Kim's spacious background vocals as well. Motorway to Roswell, a great song about the alien who supposedly crash landed in Roswell, New Mexico. It sounds like the natural ending to the album, but they tack on the Navajo No, a quirky little tune. It reminds me of the way the Smiths tacked on Some Girls Are Bigger Than Others at the end of The Queen is Dead, whereas There Is a Light That Never Goes Out. Seems like the natural ending to that particular album. Anyway, I am raising Trompe Le Monde an entire point, rating it 5 stars. It used to be behind Bossa Nova, but it has leapt ahead.
Yes, Trump Lamond is my number three as well. And like you were saying, I think this is probably their punkiest album. You know, I really love the energy and the sound. Trump Lamond and their planet of sound, we shall say. You know, Trump Lamont, Planet of Sound, and Alec Eiffel are terrific three-track opener. The Sad Punk is maybe the one song that's kind of little weird for me. Head on. Some people might hate me for saying this, but I think it surpasses the original. I love this song. This is a great version. They give it with such energy. UMass is definitely one of the best Pixie songs for sure, along with Letter to Memphis, which I think is a fantastic, catchy song. Like you were saying, Motorway to Roswell is a really incredible song. It feels epic to them because it's like 4 minutes and change for them, which is kind of interesting, but it really works on every level. And I think they're trying to get out all their anger on this album, even amongst each other. Because let's not forget, Kim released Pod with the Breeders prior to this. And you could tell that the Pixies probably may not be on the top of her list at this point. And whereas Black Francis was really the main lead songwriter, he felt like it was a bit pretty much a stab in the back. So you could tell they're taking all their anger out on their music. And this album is terrific. If you ever want to just like get all your energy out and all that, this is the quite a great album to put on. I am at 4.5 stars for Trump Le Monde. Fantastic.
Nice. Okay, we're at the top two. What's it gonna be? My number two is Surfer Rosa from 1988, the year I graduated high school. Their debut, if you don't count the mini album Come On Pilgrim, which we aren't. I absolutely love Come On Pilgrim, though. That's 5 stars for me. Uh, but anyway, on to Surfer Rosa. This album kicks ass. The energy is strange, infectious, and euphoric. 13 songs fly by quickly. Some of them last less than 2 minutes. Joey Santiago's barely contained guitar leads are exhilarating. Black France's vocals sound demon possessed, just insane. I love Kim Deal's little girl background vocals, which stand in stark contrast to Black's howl. Her song Gigantic, co-written with Black, in which she sings lead, is one of the best. Black's background vocals are great on it too. She sings, Hey Paul, hey Paul, hey Paul, let's have a ball, before the beefy chorus kicks in which Kim seems to praise the size of Paul's junk. The slower combined acoustic and electric, Where Is My Mind, is such a classic. I'm totally addicted to that song. The whole album, it just feels unhinged and has this infectious energy. There's some surf rock in the guitar, some James Bond. They recorded this in just 2 weeks with Steve Albini, a very bare bones affair. Sometimes the best music comes from humble beginnings. And I see your point about the first side, but I love the whole album. And I think it deserves its legendary status. 5 stars.
Yeah, I wish I liked the second half of that album as much as the first half, because the first half is absolutely killer, no doubt. My number two is Bossa Nova from 1990. Um, this album, believe it or not, is a great follow up to Doolittle. Um, Feels a little superficial and smoother than Doolittle. Um, but it's no less incredible, though. It definitely has a surf rock sound. I really love Cecilia Ann as an opener. Very great instrumental to start off with. Apparently, it was a cover song that I was unaware of. I had no idea. I could have thought it was them the whole time. And Valoria is one of their best songs, no doubt. Um, Allison is a minute and a half song, I believe, that flies by very quick. Is She Weird is easily one of my favorite Pixies songs. I absolutely dig that song to death. All Over the World is another great track from them. Dig for Fire is sort of their attempt at doing Talking Heads. I don't know if you recognize that. Really good. Hang Wire is a very catchy song. And Javelina is just missed my top 10 list. I almost wanted to put that there. Oh, that album is starts off strong, ends strong. Every their guitar tones on this album are very rich, I noticed. Uh Very like chimey. I really love the sound of this album more than anything. Um it's one of the better albums from the 90s in my opinion. I have this at 5 stars.
Right. Very cool. So, yes, Doolittle is my number one. Yes, Doolittle is the best Pixies album. It's their second album. It came out in 1989. It just cannot be denied. Not by me, anyway. Not by you. Black's vocals are crazy, more out there than ever. The tunes are a blast, just loads of fun. Like the debut, there's some lots of weirdness here, lots of craziness. I would say this is, in fact, their weirdest album. Part of what makes it great. Debaser, Tame, and Crackety Jones are ferocious, while Here Comes Your Man and La La Love You stick out for being sweet pop songs. Love the twirly guitar line on Here Comes Your Man, which was a minor underground hit. Wave of Mutilation and Monkey Gone to Heaven were also big in their own way. The interplay between Kim Deal's unusual high-pitched vocals and the strange voice of Black Francis on songs like I Bleed and There Goes My Gun is fantastic. Hey is totally different, building with a slow burning intensity as Francis moans about being chained, soon followed by Deal, who echoes, We're chained, as the song kicks into high gear. Kim takes lead vocals on the murky acoustic Silver, sounding like a very strange and bizarre old country and western tune. Then gouge away, kicking off with some unusual jagged bass from Kim, delivers a final blast of chaos. Every track on this album is gold. All of the players are great in their own way. You'll never hear another album quite like Doolittle. Easy 5 stars, one of my favorite albums.
Yeah. Number one, Doolittle from 1989. Believe it or not, This is the album you go to when you want to hear the Pixies. It's like the best introduction. This is the first album I heard from the Pixies, and it's the best album. And uh, if they didn't make this album, well, their concert tickets would be cheaper. Let's be honest. Um, I actually went to a show. 9 of these songs were in their set list, which was kind of a telltale sign at how much this album is meaning. This album means rather to everybody. It's one of the best albums ever, and it garnered Rolling Stone's top 500 list. And to me, unlike Surfer Rosa, this album deserves it in all aspects. Debaser is an incredible opening track. Great, like just a good bass rhythm to start off. Tame is a solid track with their incredible dynamics, shows off their dynamics perfectly. Wave of Mutilation is a great surf rock style with incredible hooks. And let's talk about their hooks. They definitely write some of the best hooks for any indie rock outfit in the 90s. And Here Comes Your Man is no exception. La La Love You was a great song. Believe it or not, first time I heard it on Then the Morning Comes from Smash Mouth. I'm like, oh, so that's where they got it. Yeah, Monkey Gone to Heaven is a classic. Great, great string arrangement in that song. Gouge Away is a great closer, their best closer, in my opinion. Uh, Silver is the one song that I'm kind of like okay on, but all the rest are absolutely stunning. And I didn't even mention Mr. Greaves, Crackety Jones, number 13, Baby. I mean, hey, this album is just loaded from top to bottom. It is an album everybody should own in their record collection. Doolittle, 5 stars. Listen
Yeah.
to it now, folks.
Yeah. Silver is skippable if you're just trying to get the Pixies energy,
Yeah.
and I can skip songs on albums when I'm doing casual listening. Some of our Taste Like Music friends will not do that though. You put on an album, you hear it straight through, and that's the way it is. But anyway, on to top 10 songs. I have no notes for these. I'm just going to blast right through them. My number 10 is Trompe le Monde, the title track. Number 9 is Planet of Sound from Trompe le Monde. Number 8 is Vamos from Surfer Rosa. Number 7 is Dead from Doolittle. Number 6 is I Bleed from Doolittle. Number 5 is Hey from Doolittle. Number 4 is Wave of Mutilation from Doolittle. Number 3 is Where Is My Mind from Surfer Rosa. Number 2 is Gigantic from Surfer Rosa. And my number one favorite Pixie song has got to be Monkey Gone to Heaven from Doolittle.
Yeah. I was disappointed because I guessed your favorite song would be Gigantic. I just had that in my mind. I was so
Close.
close. Uh, but I have a ton of honorable mentions. We'll get to those later. My number 10 from Doolittle, Gouge Away. My number 9 from Surfer Rosa, Gigantic. My number 8 from Trompe le Monde, Alec Eiffel. Little Alec Eiffel. Number 7, Here Comes Your Man from Doolittle. Number 6, Valoria from Bossa Nova. Number 5, Debaser from Doolittle. Number 4, UMass from Trompe Le Monde. Number 3, Monkey Gone to Heaven from Doolittle. Number 2, Is She Weird from Bossa Nova. Number 1, Wave of Mutilation from Doolittle.
Yeah,
Sorry.
man, I would have been happy with that list. I could have I could have chosen the songs almost as easily. Um,
Mhm.
all right. So, any final thoughts about Pixies before we sign off?
Actually, I wanted to give a few honorable mentions if I
Oh, go
could.
ahead. Yeah.
You know, I didn't mention Mr. Greaves from Doolittle. I would throw Bone Machine and Where Is My Mind from Surfer Rosa. I'd throw La La Love You from Doolittle. Number 13, Baby from Doolittle. Uh, Dig for Fire from Bossa Nova. Javelina from Bossa Nova. Head On from Trompe Le Monde. To Memphis from Trompe Le Monde. Motorway to Roswell from Trompe Le Monde. And the couple from the newer era on Graveyard Hill, Catfish Kate and Long Rider from Beneath the Eyrie.
All right.
There's a ton of good Pixies songs. I would suggest anybody check out all these albums. They're incredible.
Yeah. Definitely their first wave is the classic wave, though, but that's how it is for most bands, really. Latter day albums tend to not stack up as well as the initial run or so, but they have really good stuff in their latter day career as well. So, yeah. All right. I guess that's going to do it for the Pixies. So, thanks for joining me today, Rob. It's been fun.
It's great to be
And
here. Thank
great.
you.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Go Patriots.